My name is Rob, and I am an addict in recovery. I've been using drugs and alcohol since the age of 13. Been suffering for a long time. I grew up in Camden County, New Jersey, right outside Philadelphia, and where drugs and alcohol is pretty prevalent in the neighborhood. And I had a single mother. My father was in prison since I was a baby. They broke up. He was an addict as well. Still is to this day. My mother tried to do the best that she could for me. Growing up poor on welfare, I really didn't have a lot of options as far as expanding my horizons. A lot of people to look up to. It was just me and my mother. Growing up, I didn't have many friends. I don't think I was a really well-liked kid. I grew up with a lot of older kids. I tried to fit in with them the best I could. It really wasn't an option for me to hang out with, kids, children my own age. Going to high school, I did so many different things. I tried to fit in. I had the big Jabos pants. I had the 4X white tees. I tried to fit in with everybody I could. I would go to different type of groups in high school just to, be anything that wasn't really myself. I wasn't happy. I started to smoke marijuana. I like to smoke weed. It made me feel a little bit better about myself. And then obviously I got a little older, junior, senior. I started drinking alcohol with my friends at the parties. And, during my time, Oxycontin became a really big thing where I was growing up. It was pretty much everywhere. All the towns were flooded with it. It was really easy accessibly. So, and I wasn't a big drinker myself. So because it took too much time, I didn't like the way it made me feel. The opiates really did it for me. I could do it really quick. It gave me personality. I was able to talk to people, be the life of the party. It made me more comfortable in my skin. I barely made it through high school, but I did. I was proud of that, and so was my mom. But the addiction and the grip that I didn't even know I had was starting to take effect in my life. So, I get out of high school, taking Oxycontin. I start getting sick. I didn't realize why my stomach was hurting. I thought, maybe I had stomach problems. Taking Pepto-Bismol just to relieve my stomach. I got a job working for the state. I thought, I had it made. Where I came from, very poor. I got a job with benefits, a decent wage. It was something that I can work with. I got my CDL license not knowing that, I'm gonna have the drug test now. I didn't know exactly what I started out too early. I was immature still. So I go to work and, I'm under the influence and, I wound up, taking drug tests and failing. They made me go into a rehab. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what any type of AA, NA program was. I go into a program, and it was just running through the cycle at the treatment center. They sent me there. I was there for about a week, and they said my insurance was no good any longer. So I had to leave. And I go back to work, and I think everything's all right. I had my little week of recovery, and, I'm back to doing the motion. So I go back to work, and I get in a relationship, and the Oxycontin started disappearing. A friend of mine said heroin's the way to go. It's cheaper. I can use that, and everything will be all right. I won't have the stomach problems. So I'm using heroin now at this point, and I'm sniffing it. And I'm working, I'm plowing snow, and I wind up crashing into a cop car with a big dump truck. Again, being a union worker, they had my back, and they sent me into rehab. I got a little bit of time after that, probably about 4 months, and I go back into using it again. Now that I'm using the heroin, the sniffing thing really wasn't working for me. I started shooting it. I'm an IV user, and I'm using the substance that I really enjoy that makes me feel better. Now I'm going into withdrawals when I don't have it anymore. I realize what it is from being in the rehab and learning exactly what the substance is, what it does to me, and what it does to my body at this point. I'm gaining some knowledge. So I'm shooting heroin at this point, and I decided to come down to Florida for some recovery. I know some people down here, they bring me in. I'm down here, I get a little bit of time under my belt, and I go back to New Jersey. So I'm back up in New Jersey, and trying to find work, but I'm not working a program at all. The treatment centers that I went to didn't really tell me about anything about 12 steps, about a sponsor, about working a program, helping others. It was just going through the process of giving me an oil change, just to clean out my body and get me back on track. I didn't learn anything. So I'm suffering, and I know I've heard from Facebook about this program, Just Believe Recovery Center. They had a program called The Gift of Life, which is a scholarship into their detox and residential facility without insurance. I didn't have insurance. I was beat. I didn't have no options. It was either jail, dying, or just suffering even longer. I called them up for a scholarship. They accepted me into their program. I was very grateful for that. I go into their program. It was probably an adjustment for me because they were teaching me the process of how to stay clean. What's the process of working in a meeting? How to raise my hand, how to ask for help. What do the 12 steps mean? What does AA program mean? What does NA program mean? And the keys to my recovery were right there. I'm in their detox. Everything went pretty smooth for me in there. I go into the residential facility. They're teaching me all the tools that you could say to help me go along my journey in my recovery. It was a great program. The therapists were on point. They were very honest with me. They kept it real with me. They weren't sugarcoating anything. They let me know exactly what they felt from their professional opinion, what was causing me to keep relapsing, why I wasn't happy with myself, why I was suffering mommy issues, daddy issues, how to go forward with that. And their suggestions of when I get out of their program, what do I do from there? So I go into that program, and it was hands down probably the best treatment center that I went to. I'm still sober today because of Just Believe Recovery Center. I can't thank them enough. I'm extremely grateful. This was, for me, it was a once-in-a-life opportunity. Today, I have a relationship with my family. My mom gave me a key to the house. I'm working full-time. I have a girlfriend who loves me and who I'm able to accept that love because I had that problem. I didn't think I was worthy enough. I was afraid about what I looked like, what people thought of me, and I'm not worried about that today. I'm able to move on. I'm able to let things go. It taught me how to stay humble. Don't worry about your ego. Don't worry about what people think. Do the next best thing. Teach me to help others is going to help me in the end. If I'm not helping anybody, what am I really doing? I'm trying to get my life better. And that's all I really wanted from the start. I wanted to feel important. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel like I really mattered. And because of Just Believe, I was able to accomplish all those things. They gave me the tools. They showed me love. They showed me compassion. They really let me know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. And that's a miracle because I didn't feel that way. And I really suggest that, if you're out there struggling and you need help, this is the place to come to. There's no question. If it worked for me, and I was suffering since I was 13, I'm 32 now, reach out to Just Believe Recovery Center. That program saved so many people that I know of that I'm still friends with to this day that came from this program. They're still out there. They're still doing the right thing. They're still sober. They're still clean. Give them a call. The staff is wonderful. The admissions process was nice and easy and smooth for me. No problems, no hassles. They took me in on a scholarship with no insurance. I can't say any more than that. So, if you're like me and you were suffering and you had those issues and you need a helping hand, reach out to them. And I'm not just saying that, I really mean this.